Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and you may have heard of a small game called League of Legends. It's famous for being very popular and having one of the most toxic player bases in the history of gaming. It makes Call of Duty look civil. And honestly, I've never played it because any game where I have to rely on other human beings to play the game properly and at a high skill level, otherwise they're going to ruin it for me, oh, that's a pass. At least when I played MechWarrior Online, I could just solo kill 5 people. And honestly, in like Apex Legends or Call of Duty, like, what team? Get out of my way. But yeah, it's still around and it's still making money and it's still getting viewers somehow, despite the game being 10 years old. So finally, after 10 years, Riot Games is finally making other things. And strangely, all at once. So that's weird. I mean, I'm kind of getting the impression that they did literally nothing for 6 years. And then they were like, we should make a bunch of other stuff. Kind of reminds me of early 2000s Valve, or late 90s, and sometime around then. So they're just like sitting there counting their money in like another meeting. They're like, oh, the final count is $1 billion again. Ha 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 ha. And then one guy's like, we should make another game. And they're like, oh, we should. We have enough money. So we've known about the legendary Project F for a while now, but this actually isn't it. Project F is a dungeon crawler. So League of Legends is coming out with, I think they said 3+ games. One's a dungeon crawler, one's I don't remember, and one is a card game. Oh, yes. So everybody knows the golden rule of gaming is do not launch a card game in 2019. So let's take Gwent and let's take Artifact, okay? Gwent, people were like, oh, cool, that's that card game from The Witcher, and it's really cool. It should be its own game. Awesome, and everybody's looking forward to it. Everybody loved it, and it kind of fizzled. It didn't do really as well as they thought. Very good ratings, but not a very big player base last I heard, and that came out in late 2018. Like, in just July 2019, the average number of viewers watching people play Gwent on Twitch was 702. So ignoring Arena, because for some reason Twitch Tracker can't find the game Arena. What the hell, guys? Just watching people play Paper Magic, it was 7,700-ish in July. Arena's probably 10 times that, so yeah, Gwent kind of nosedived despite tons of hype and a very positive reaction. Then we've got Artifact, when Valve was like, we're making a game, and people are like, oh, that's right, Valve makes games occasionally. Hey, is it Portal 3 or Half-Life 3? Well, if it's not, then shut up and get off the screen. And then they announced Artifact, a card game, and everybody booed. And that sentiment carried all the way to launch and all the way to now, where at one point at Twitch, I believe they had maybe 30 people concurrently streaming it. Or maybe it was like 4 people. It was embarrassingly low. It was to the point where people hated it so much that there was a coordinated effort to kind of troll it and stream things that were clearly not Artifact, but marketed as Artifact on Twitch. And I heard Twitch is suing a lot of those people for drastic violations of their policy because those people are idiots. So from a beloved game that had everything going for it that failed, to a game that everybody hated that failed, card games are DOA in 2018 and 2019. You don't launch a card game. Everybody knows it's kind of like mobile games now. Nobody's getting into mobile games because they're all just like, this is all just pay to not wait trash. It's not even a game. It's just garbage. I am just going to write off the entire genre and just say screw it. And that's because people know how much money Magic Online and Hearthstone cost. So they're just like, I'm not even going to touch that. And they know that Valve's a bunch of greedy assholes. And as for why Gwent died, I have no idea. So why the actual hell would Riot Games work on a League of Legends card game? That's not smart. I guess they're just trying everything and just throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. And since they're moving at the development speed of who cares, we've got more money than some countries, although they got to settle all those lawsuits because, yeah, it's that Riot Games. I suspect that they started development and started like approving this card game project well before the launch of Gwent or Artifact. So now they're probably regretting it. So there is one thing that they made extremely, extremely well known on the stream where they announced this. You will not have to pay for randomized packs to unlock cards in this game. From the sound of it, it'll either be free and then a bunch of cosmetic stuff, or maybe like premium event tickets, or, something kind of fair where you can play for free or you cannot, or some mix of the two. Something like monetizable with no top cap, but very fair and very appealing, like Pokemon Go. Like, you can play Pokemon Go 100% for free and not have a problem. It's just a little bit of extra convenient stuff, and if you want to run way too many raids in a day and that kind of stuff. So I know people who dump like 50 to 100 a month into that game, and I know people who play for free and are level 40. And besides the game being designed like crap, and the gameplay being awful, and the company behind it not knowing how to program anything, and it just being a glitchy disaster even like 2.5 years later, it's popular just because the word got out. This is legit free to play. So in both scenarios, I could see this game actually doing well, maybe, just because they said the magic words, and they really stressed, you don't buy packs. If this game looks pretty fair and pretty free, I mean, usually it'll take the Fortnite path and it'll attract kids because kids don't have money. So, they don't have $60 to keep dropping on this game and that game. So if something free comes out and you can run it on a potato of a gaming computer, then you're going to get kids. Oh, and poor people, which is, by the way, a lot of people, in case you haven't seen Fortnite's stats. So that's like a guaranteed customer base. The only problem with that is that little kids don't tend to play card games because they're very cognitive and planning heavy and math heavy, and that's not as exciting as running around shooting and doing silly stuff in a game. Oh yes, card games. Very serious adult business, people. I mean, except for, my entire channel, which takes the game, very, very seriously. I mean, we never do electrical experiments on foils and light cards on fire and build bulletproof vests out of cards. Dude, y'all gotta check out some of my older videos. We got wild with that stuff. I mean, I had to delete a couple of videos where we blew up cards with fireworks and stuff. Anyway, when this comes out, if it's straight up free, I think they're gonna get a big surge of people, but I don't know if they'll stick around. It depends if the gameplay is enjoyable to a wide mass of people. And everybody knows, even Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all that, it's not really for everyone. You really have to like the strategy, the math, the planning, the decision making, and that kind of stuff in the typical competitive card game. And if that's not appealing to a large portion of people, they aren't going to stay around long. Now, the other scenario I mentioned that I think might be a recipe for success is if they just straight up sell this for $20-$30. And it's just, here it is, play it, buy it once, play it, which is, by the way, a terrible business model, but they might have seasons or season passes or, something like Arena. Imagine if instead of buying boosters in Arena, you had access to the entire card database. You could build any deck you want, and you just bought Arena for $30. But on top of it, they had mad cosmetics, all kinds of different, pets. You could choose modifications or your own battle arenas. You could add sound effects. You could do sound effects to taunt your opponent, which, by the way, oh my God, they want to make money? Add that, okay? Age of Empires 1 discovered it, and Arena needs to pick it up. I think the taunts might have been Age of Empire 2. I don't remember. I mean, you add a button for 100 gems for me to start talking shit to my opponent, I will get out my credit card. I mean, just a snoring sound to tell them that I fell asleep and they need to hurry up, I would pay good money for that. But anyway, you add, dumb cosmetics like that, and then a season pass for $10-$20, whatever, where you get all kinds of exclusive cosmetics and free stuff. I mean, yeah, I know most of it's coins and packs, but take that away and just give new skins, new pets, new card sleeves, all that. People would buy it. A lot of people get into the mindset of I gotta support the developers. I haven't given these people money in 3 years. I'm just gonna spend $10 to keep the game running, And like I said, they could go the World of Warcraft or Dungeons & Dragons online path where you buy the game and then 6 months or a year later, a new module comes out, a new expansion, a new whatever, new set of cards to play with or whatever, and then you gotta pay to play with them. I think that's pretty reasonable. I mean, if it's priced reasonably, because I think people, as soon as they hear it's a card game where I don't have to buy the packs, I don't have to constantly buy boosters, that is such an advantage. I mean, after the paper or digital versions of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic, if anybody's played those, they're ooh boy, yeah, that can get expensive opening boosters. Boosters are just basically loot boxes, and playing card games are basically loot boxes of the game. So people steer real clear of that. But if they're just here, you earn stuff in-game. It's an actual game. It's designed to be a game, not a monetization trap. I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people. So will this be in danger of killing Hearthstone? Yes. Will this be in danger? Let me just clarify that. Hearthstone's killing itself. That's a Blizzard property. Oh, they're in some hot water lately, in case you haven't been watching the news or my channel. But is this going to dig into Arena? Maybe. I mean, Arena's pretty fair, and I play it pretty darn for free, and it's got better gameplay. I mean, Magic's kind of a shit show right now, but it still has better, fairer gameplay than Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. I'm going to throw that out there. So this would have to be so tuned and so perfect from the get-go with such deep but leveled, appropriate, what do they call that? Well-balanced, meta and gameplay. And I just don't think they can pull it off on their first try, unless they hire like professional mathematicians and look at everything that Magic does wrong right now and fix it. And even with very carefully experienced, well-designed gameplay, yes, I'm talking about Keyforged, made by Richard freaking Garfield, creator of Magic the Gathering, by the way, at a certain point, people play it to death and get sick of the first set, and then they gotta wait for another set to come out, and you gotta design it real quick before you start losing people. Because people are like, okay, it's like the same 300 and some cards, the decks are similar, I've played every combination, I've spent enough money, okay, cool. And that game had everything going for it. Now it's not doing amazingly, I mean, it's not like dead, but it's not the hype level that it was when it first came out. But by the way, new set coming out for Keyforge, or adding a new faction or group or guild or whatever the hell it is. I think people are going to jump right back into it. But yeah, unless this is the miracle of a card game launch with like a better, more diverse, more interesting interactive gameplay than even Keyforge, which was designed by Richard Garfield, I don't think this is going to do well. I think people are going to try it for like a week or two and then just be like, okay, whatever. And that's if it's free. I mean, people are going to get sick of just one set to play with, one set of cards, one whatever, unless they design this very particularly. Now, they did say that you pick like an area, and it's like from the League of Legends universe, and then you like level up in that area. So you might be able to jump from one area to another, to another, to another, and unlock them in sequence, kind of like a Nintendo game or a typical old school video game. And then you won't get bored because you'll have like new card sets to play with, and you'll want to keep playing to unlock them all. And then by the time you unlock them all, then maybe they'll have a new campaign or whatever. So if they do it that way, and like I said, if the gameplay is fair and not just, oh, this deck wins, it's the best in the world, build this one, it could hook some people in. But I don't think this will just like absolutely overwhelm Arena and be the best card game ever. I just don't see it. And people, the animosity towards card games in 2019, like I said, it is high. And this is coming from Riot Games, which people don't like them as a company. And then when you attach, you know, oh, it's the League of Legends developer, everybody's like, oh, League. I hate League players and I hate League. The community sucks, the game sucks, the everything sucks. I hate League. League is terrible. League is complete digital gamer AIDS. I mean, it's like when Facebook tried to launch a VR thing. People are like, oh, so it's going to spy on my retina and send it straight to the FBI. Okay. You don't attach a toxic name to a new product. Everybody knows this. And well, they've attached the name Riot Games and League of Legends to it. Holy hell. Maybe they should go for the oh baby a triple and call it Nazi cards. Nazi the Gathering, and then the subtitle, I did not see that coming. So, I mean, like I said, the fact that you don't open packs and the fact that they're just like, here, it's a card game, here, play it. We know what we're doing. We have a lot of money. We don't need your money because we have enough money. It might pull in some people initially, and this could do well, but long-term and even honestly short-term, I think there's too much going against it. I'd give it about maybe a 70% chance of just utterly failing within a month or two. We're talking just crash and burn, like drop 90%, just kaboom. And if it's really, really good, then I'll give it maybe 6 months. I don't have the confidence that a company who doesn't make card games can make a perfect card game that exceeds Magic. I don't see it happening. And yeah, looking at how mismanaged Magic is, you might think that anybody can come in and stomp on them. Like Magic the Gathering is the MySpace of the card game world, where they're just waiting for Facebook to come in and be like, hi, we're not MySpace. And then people just leave. Just absolute mass exodus. You know, where they get too confident, they're like, we're too big to fail. We're the only option. We're the leader and we have been forever. And then people, they don't realize that like the entire customer base hates them with a passion. And then as soon as there's any semblance of a competitor that comes out, people just jump ship. While I would say that that's an accurate assessment of Magic right now and the state of the game and the state of the idiots managing it, try to make a game as complex and as thought-heavy as Magic and then manage it perfectly when you've never done it before. Now, I'm not saying that you couldn't bring in a team of people who just know math and no planning and no game testing, take over Magic the Gathering and fix it and stop making such stupid card printing mistakes. That is very doable, but to take a 25-year-old game that's been tweaked with the rules and this and that and improved over that much time to the point where it is now and try to start from scratch with a brand new card game and exceed that, not going to happen. It is so unlikely. So what we really need for a solution is for Wizards to just stop mismanaging the standard meta, as I've been saying, and then nothing will come in and beat Arena. Well, or Paper, I mean, either one. So I'll definitely be keeping a very close eye on Legends of Runeterra, as it's called, which, I mean, really, they named it Runeterra, which is vaguely Latin for Rune World? Really? So anyway, when that game comes out, I might check it out. I mean, I really didn't check out Keyforge because I was like, nobody plays in my area and it's really expensive. Didn't check out Artifact because neither did anybody else. Also, I absolutely hate Valve. And Gwent I didn't play just because I didn't play The Witcher. But this one, I think I'll check it out. And I might stream it, I might give an assessment of it, make a review of it, whatever, and then resume playing Arena. So watch for that in the future, and if you want my awesome opinion of this game when it comes out, don't want to miss it, hit that subscribe button. Also for more Magic news and gameplay and decks and everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.